What's up, Dominators? Welcome back to the VGShy channel, and today I present to you my Aqua Force deck recipe. So as you can see, this is the full deck right here. We can see that it's been updated with the new VEB12, which is featuring obviously Last Card Revon. I think it's one of the best compared to Maelstrom. Maelstrom did get the support in the set as well, but I still think that Revon is the best out of the set, excluding Maelstrom of course, because with its minusing power of your opponent vanguards combined with the multi-attack, it acts like a little bit like Murakumo, but instead of -10 it's -5, but you gain a lot of attacks in the process, and if your opponent doesn't damage check a trigger, it really hurts a lot to gain a lot of multi-attacks from this clan onto the opponent's face. So yeah, we're just gonna jump right into it. So first we get the cards, the full layout of the deck as usual. Then we go into the cards, their skills, and last but not least a little bit of gameplay here, and then of course why do we run the cards in the deck. Alright, so moving on to the first card, obviously I think it's best that we show the VR of the set, Last Card Revon. So I think this VR is, when it first released, instead of last card, it's actually the first card release, so first card Revon Kappa. It was really hyped up. A lot of people said that the rest rear guard minus choose one of your opponent's vanguards and -5k wasn't a once per turn skill, but that'd be too broken if it wasn't. So skill X once per turn, rest one of your rear guards, and your opponent's vanguard gets -5k at the end of turn. So it's like a half delete, half Shirayuki. Not really half delete, but half Shirayuki, and yeah, but a little bit of delete sprinkled on top as well. So yeah, second skill is where it really gets good, because it's a free cost when it attacks. If you have 5 or more rest rear guards, at the end of turn this unit gains power plus 15k, drive +1, and if your sword has a grade 3, it gains critical +1. So the crit is just optional, it's not mandatory, it's just there to provide even more pressure, which is good. But the first few lines is what we are actually running this card for, which is if you have 5 or more rest rear guards at the end of turn, this unit gains 15k and +1 drive. So it's a free triple drive with 27k attacking vanguard, and you do run crits in the deck. Obviously you don't run fronts. It really applies a lot of pressure, especially if you got a great chain soul, so it's the additional crit for you, 27k swinging your opponent's face. Your opponent is most likely going to be a 8k or 7k base. Take note that this is if they do not damage check any triggers, and most of the time you want to attack with your rear guards first, because obviously Revon skill states that you need 5 or more rear guards in order to gain 15k and 1 drive. So it's really good, and if you can see, the deck only runs 4, which is the correct build. You wouldn't want to run more than 4, because your slots for the additional grade 3s are actually filled up with the grade 2s and grade 1s. So you can see that we run an abundance of grade 2s and grade 1s. So for grade 2s we can count as 4, 8, 6, 14. So total 14 grade 2s. First we have the new grade 2 from the new set. We got Blue Wave Marine General Gallias. So it's a pretty old G card. The G card allows this card to stand like 2 or 3 times, I'm not too sure. Forgot about it already, but in V series it got revamped. So we run 3 copies. Con Vanguard Rearguard skill, during your turn if you have 4 more rest Rearguards, this unit gains 5k. Is really good. I guess it's a 14k attacker compared to opponent's 7 or 8k base if they're on grade 3. Because of Revon skill, you -5. It's considered already on Excel, it's a 15k card. On itself, it's a 10k card already, so it's really good. And the second skill is the free restand, not say free, but it's a restanding rearguard. But take note that it's only able to restand if you're on Last Card Revon. So auto once per turn when your grade 3 vanguard attacks. Oh no, actually it just needs to be a grade 3 vanguard, so it doesn't be Revon. Wow, it's even better. If your opponent vanguard current power is different from its original power, you can't +1 extend this unit. Most of the time, you will almost never have the same power as your opponent's vanguard. Like legit, you will almost never have the same power as your opponent's vanguard. So it's a free count +1 restand when your grade 3 vanguard attacks. Take note that obviously you can rush with it in the early game. You need a grade 3 vanguard compared to other cards we're going to get to right now, which is Tidal Assault. Pretty old card back in VEB03 if I'm not wrong. Yeah, the first set for Aqua Force. So pretty simple skill, auto rearguard skill. Once per turn when it attacks, you may swap +1 stand this unit. If it's the second battle or more this turn, it gains 5k at the end of turn, -5k at the end of turn, sorry. So yeah, you can combine this with Revon, but take note that Revon's you need 5 rest rearguards. And yeah, most of the time you want to fill up your rearguard circles on your grade 3 turn in order to gain the additional 15k in one drive, but you can always put one Tidal onto the Excel circle and then fill up your rest of the rearguard circles with rearguards, because it's just nice equals to 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then obviously once your rearguard attacks get any trigger, you pump all the triggers to Tidal Assault, and even though it's a second battle or more and Tidal withstands with the minus 5k, it's still a free, not say free, I keep saying free, it's kind of free in a sense. It's still a withstand, and it applies a lot of pressure to your opponent because you're gunning with a lot more attacks after your Vanguard has drive tag, and any trigger you may pump to Tidal, especially crits, you're swinging Tidal with 2 crit by 2 crit, so most of the time your opponent will have to guard for that. Moving on to Coral Assault. Reasons why you run Coral Assault is the only draw engine under your grade 1 and your draw triggers in the deck, so it's a really good beat stick as well, especially if you get the 4 or more other rearguards in rest. So first, continue your circle during the battle that you attack. You get 4 or more units in rest, and 4 or more other units in rest. This unit gets 15k. So I wish the wording was 4 or more rearguards in rest, then you know it'd be much better. But it says 4 or more other units in rest. So it really sometimes it contradicts with the rearguards that you're attacking with. So you need to think and time the attack patterns properly in order to gain the full utility of the 15k. So it's free 24k attacker with you have 4 more rest units. And the second skill is when at the end of the turn, if total number of attacks distance 4 or more, which is most of the time you have on your retreat turn, you put this unit into your sword and you draw a card, so it refunds the cost of itself. Reasons why you run it, obviously, it's pretty good. It refunds the cost, gains power. 3 copies, I think it's fine. You're optional to run 4. Up to you. Some decks do run like the new card called Foivoss instead. Yes, on play Soul +1. If you're grade 3 Vanguard or is it grade 3 Revon, either one, you check rest this unit, Soul +1, check top card, call it. So sure, I guess it makes kinda sense, but the second skill is why the cost is like this, which is when your grade 3 Vanguard attacks, probably you discard a card, you stand it. So it doesn't gain additional power like Gallias, and in order for you to stand it, you don't count loss or Soul Blast, you discard a card. That's why one of the reasons why people are quite reluctant to run it, and I'm reluctant to run it. So instead of Foivoss, I run Elgos. So trial deck Elgos, Marine General of the Restless Tides Elgos. Your best grade to ride, your best grade to rush. So Vanguard Circle, auto. When he attacks, if the second battle or more this turn, count +1, Soul +1, stand on your rearguards. So in conjunction with the grade 2 turn, it's very important that you get these 3 cards. This one on your Vanguard. You can have this on Vanguard Circle if you want, but it contradicts with the 1 count pass you only have, probably. Best is 1/1/1, obviously, and then you call Tidal, you call Coral, you call another Rearguard in order to have 4 more rest units, so that you gain the 15k from Coral, and then you rush your opponent down and pray that your opponent doesn't damage trigger. So yeah, that's the optimal grade to turn. Second skill, Rearguard Circle when it attacks in the first battle, combat 1 standard unit, pretty simple. Doesn't contradict with most of the stuff. Yeah, other than Tidal, but Tidal it's fine, you can use it with the second wave or more, a second attack or more, first second battle or more, while for Elgos it's restricted to the first battle only. So yeah, 14 grade 2s. Moving on to the grade 1s, we have the new top 5 grade 3 Soldier. What's it called? Blue Wave Soldier Senior Baragus, I think, yeah, something like that. So continuous Vanguard Rearguard during your turn, you have 4 or more rest rearguards. This gains 5k, so take note, 4 or more rest rearguards inclusive himself when he's attacking, so 13k booster, 13k attacker. And auto Vanguard Circle when placed, look at top 5 cards from your deck, review 1 grade 3, put it to your hand, you put a card, discard a card from your hand. Best grade 3 Searcher. That's one of the reasons why you can afford to run 4 Revons only, because of this grade 3 Searcher. 4 of a must. Moving on to Wheel Assault. I think this card is like the best card you can have in the deck, because it enables so much multi attacks and so much plays. So let's get into the skill first. So at the end of the battle, it boosted, choose 2 of your rearguards. You may exchange positions. That's the main reason why you actually run it. The second skill is when you roll upon count +1, draw a card, call a card, sure, whatever. It's a free plus net actually to your +1 to your field. Reasons why you run is because the first skill, obviously, because end of battle you boosted, choose 2 rearguards and you exchange the positions. So you can technically call 2 grade 2s onto the same column, and then at the end of battle that your Vanguard attack, maybe you're boosting your Vanguard with Wheel Assault, you may swap the positions from the XL circle to the back rearguard grade 2 that you called. So it might sound a bit confusing, but you know what I mean. Yeah, enables a lot of multi-attacks. That's one of the reasons why 4 off, I think it's a necessary must. Moving on to Algo Searcher, Nicholas, Stormrider Nicholas. I think obviously if you're running Algos, you should run this card. It's a free net or free +1 when it calls itself. So Vanguard Circle when placed, Vanguard Circle when placed, top 7, search for Algos, add to hand, and this unit gains 3k. So take note that if you do not add Algos, this unit still gains 3k, so it's a free 11k attacker / booster. Last but not least, we have the new card. I think I really like this card a lot. It's called Battle Siren Nerissa. It's somewhat like a Coral Assault, but it ties very well with Revon. So when rest by another card's ability, you may swap +1 stand each unit. This unit gains 10k at the end of turn. So it's a free 18k attacker on the back row or booster, either one. What I like to do is you call this behind like a Coral Assault or any grade 2, and then you have a Wheel Assault at the back somewhere behind your Vanguard or behind your other Vanguard, and then when you attack with your XL circle first, then you attack with the Vanguard boosted by Wheel Assault, and then you swap the positions of this card and the card on the XL circle, so instead it becomes a 23k attacker. It's really strong. So yeah, and the second skill is at the end of the turn with 4 more rest regards, you put this card into your soul, draw a card. So refunds the cost, a bit same like Coral Assault. Coral Assault is 4 or more battles, while this card is 4 or more rest regards. So it works fine. Most of the time you probably have it like 4 more rest regards. Pretty simple. Easier than 4 more battles probably. For triggers, I wouldn't get into much detail because, as I said before, flexible. This deck, 6 crits, 6 draws. I think it's optimal. You can run 8 crits, 4 draws if you want, but for me, in terms of this deck, it's cutting the cost of Nerissa and Coral Assault, so you cut down 2 cards, 2 draws. So that's one of the reasons why I run 2 draw PGs, 2 draw triggers in the deck to make up for it. But other than that, I think 6 crits is a must, obviously, especially the playing title. I think it's really strong. You can run France, it's optional, but I feel that the crit pressure is much more scary, especially if you're on Revon and your opponents is like 7k or 8k base, or even lower because they're grade 2 and you ride up to grade 3 first. Heals, obviously a must. If you're playing a normal standard consistent deck, heals is always there. So yeah, triggers, I'll let you guys decide what you want to run. You want to run France, you want to run crits, you want to run draws, whatever, up to you. XLs, this deck is possible to go with XL1 if you are able to push your opponent on the grade 2 turn without them damage checking any triggers, and if you ride up to grade 3 first, you are able to go XL1. It puts so much pressure on your opponent, especially if you call title on the XL1. Your opponent's at probably 4 or 5k base because you use your one skill when they're on grade 2 turn. Your title, even though it's not whacking on the first wave, it's already a 14k attacker because 10 plus 9 then minus 5 is 14k to your 4k base or 5k base. That's a 15k of 10k guard consecutively 2 times. So it takes 2 cards off their hands, especially if they have to guard your Vanguard as well. So take into consideration that they have to guard your Vanguard with a triple drive 15k. So it really puts a lot of pressure, and I think this deck is really consistent overall. But obviously you need to draw into your pieces. If you are bricking very hard with this deck, like you keep drawing triggers like me, kinda, you don't see your pieces at all. It's really hard for you to make the combos happen during a grade 3 turn or subsequent grade 3 turns where you just don't draw into your cards. So yeah, thank you much for watching. I hope to release Claret and Narukam really soon. I have no idea when I'm gonna release them, but keep your hopes up. Yeah, I'll try to get them ASAP. The set is releasing this Wednesday. Unfortunately, I'm really behind time, a lot behind time. I wouldn't blame it because of the virus, the coronavirus, but it plays a little bit into why I'm delaying my videos a lot. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, Dominators. I hope you like my content. Be posting more stuff very soon, hopefully. And yeah, I'll see you Dominators in the next video. Peace!